Hello and welcome to the 20th episode of my Call of Duty Ghosts Weapon Guide. In this episode, the MK14 EBR, a modernised version of the American M14 battle rifle, designed for a designated marksman role. The MK14's damage is high. Like all of the other marksman rifles, you'll kill in 2 shots out to a mid-long range, or with just a single headshot. At a greater distance, you may need up to 3 shots to kill instead, or 2 shots where 1 is a headshot. Rate of fire is limited to 480 rounds per minute, falling behind both the MR28 and IA2 in exchange for a greater effective range. Still, this level of output is sufficient for most engagements, as you'll want to make sure your shots are accurately placed. Unaimed fire is not particularly effective. Hipfire performance is poor, with only the sniper rifles proving less reliable. Recoil is moderate, and as such, tackling distant targets mandates a slower rate of fire to be effective. However, you can shoot more quickly in closer ranged engagements. The key is ensuring your sights are settled on your target before firing again. Aim time is average at 300 milliseconds, the standard for both the marksman and assault rifle classes. Your mobility is similarly middle of the road, as you'll move at 90% of the base speed. Magazine capacity is 18 rounds, or 27 with extended mags, the same as most of the other marksman rifles. Given the semi-automatic fire, the 18 rounds are normally sufficient for any engagement. The higher per shot damage means you can successfully tackle small groups with just a single mag. Reload times are average for the class at 2.97 seconds. As long as you keep a buffer zone between yourself and your enemy, the brief downtime during resupplies shouldn't prove an issue. When building a class with the MK14 EBR, you should focus on both power and precision. The weapon can deal the highest damage in its class, but this is only useful if you can direct those shots accurately onto target. As we'll be focusing on longer ranged combat, the integrated scope is probably the best optical option to use. Not only is it ideal for use at such distances, the integrated scope enjoys lower recoil than the alternatives, and doesn't occupy an attachment slot. Selecting the muzzle brake as one of your attachments will enhance your 2-hit kill distance to the maximum possible, a useful trait at the fringe of your effective range. Pair this with armor-piercing rounds, or maximum punch per trigger pull. You'll be better able to slice through thin cover, and you'll deal more damage to kill streaks too. While ideally you should be shooting your target directly, every so often some scenery will intersect your shot, and the added penetration power might prove decisive. For your perks, focus is a must with all of the marksman rifles, as landing successive shots on target, near or far, is heavily dependent on the steadiest sights possible. Positioning is key too. Knowing where the enemy is will prove essential in choosing the most effective firing position. Equipping wiretap will enhance your ability to pinpoint the enemy team through use of their own SATCOMs. This betrayal will prove their undoing, as you can efficiently pick them off from a prepared spot. It can also be worth picking up resistive options such as TAC Resist to better weather enemies assaulting your position. And a good sidearm is absolutely essential to fend off foes intent on getting close. It can be wise to pick up a fallen enemy's weapon if it's an SMG or other suitable close-range option. Such weapons will normally prove more reliable than a handgun. The MK14 EBR is a powerful option within the marksman rifle category that doesn't sacrifice too much in the way of controllability. In terms of power, only the SVU can trump you within the class, and in most cases you'll enjoy similar performance with better overall handling. A 2-shot kill can shut out the lower damage weapons at a distance, and when firing from a strong position, you'll have a clear edge in ranged combat. Of course, accuracy is paramount during successful use of this weapon, and if you're not able to place your shots, you'll find opponents with more forgiving weapons will have an easy time tackling you. You'll suffer at the hands of shotguns and SMGs up close too. Even with precision, the marksman rifle's slower handling will let you down in closer ranged firefights. Still, with good judgment and positioning, you can lessen the risk of uneven odds. And with anticipation of your enemy's movement, you can provide perfect interdiction. there's no doubt, when on target, this enhanced battle rifle will enhance your performance. Thank you very much for watching, and join me next time when I'll be covering the L115. Until then, farewell.